Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you here as we usher in the Sunshine Meet here in Hollandale Beach. The recently concluded Royal Palm Meet is behind us. The Sunshine Meet is in front of us, and in front of that is the championship.
I know.
How about that?
It gets here very quickly, like starting now till Thanksgiving Day is our opening day of championship meet, so it's just big. And with the start of the Sunshine Meet, we have the first leg of the Florida Sire Stakes this weekend, and that's going to be very fun tomorrow.
Looking forward to that. Two good races tomorrow. Of course, the Dr. Fager and the Desert Vixen, and we did some homework on those, so we'll see some of that. Caught up with some connections. Looking forward to that, but nothing new in the Rainbow Six. Even though we changed meets, everything is still a go, and that pool is today $100,000 in the estimated jackpot. You can see the carryover is healthy. I believe, I don't know if it's official, but I think we're building to a mandatory next Sunday. But unfortunately,
I think it's the 17th.
17th, okay.
Is that next Sunday?
No,
14th.
Yeah, there we go. It's okay. It is official.
Wow.
There we go. Boys, thank you.
We just
Appreciate
had one
that.
a week ago, it seems like,
Yeah,
so we're back again.
Plenty of time to get to that. But if you're with us here in South Florida, and it is summer in South Florida, and that means it rains a whole heck of a lot. I don't know about you, but in Fort Lauderdale, it was coming down as we were trying to watch some football last night. So we are off the turf today.
Yep.
Unfortunately, and hopefully we'll have a good weekend here. The weather is kind of hit or miss. Fast main track to start the day. That's a positive, and we showed you the rainbow, but the early pick 5 in race number 1, about 54 minutes to post. We'll take a look at my ticket now. A lot of reworking from this guy today. I'll be front and center about that. You want to pay attention in race 2. There was a big draw in that off-the-turf race, and that is the 14 Estrella, who I would be your second choice on a turf morning line. But that's very important. She's drawing in. Pay attention. Patty's Gift, short number in race 3. Race 4, top pick is a 3, area code 501. And in race 5, top pick is the 8, and that is Cajun Fantasy. Big scratch in there of Chaina as well. We'll get through him. Pete's upstairs. He'll do the same, but let's kick it off on the Tapeta in race number 1. These are a 12-5 2 Ls for 3-year-olds and up. A couple big scratches in here. The 5 Always True. In the 7 Sponge Time is out of this race. Where are you going? You've got the 4 Alano Forever.
Yeah, I always did have this guy on top. It's a bit of some guesswork here because his last race in April just was pulled up and walked off. We haven't seen him since then in early April. Like I said, blinkers go on today. He's had some works at a farm that I could not tell you where they are, but anything from the Victor Barboza barn is very, very live.
Dropping.
Yeah, and the huge drop in class.
Yep, but Victor's going to run them where they belong. I don't ever think that he's trying to put something over in a spot like this. He knows darn well there could be a lot of takers here, so it is what it is. I scratch into this horse, the 1 down inside, Wineman Tracks. We're going to show you the replay just to show you something. We lost some replays today, so I want to show it to you. The replay was more about Sponge Time. But old Wineman Tracks here was the one that ran second this day. Sponge Time, remember him because he's got a little trouble down on the inside.
Yeah, big time.
Not but Wineman Tracks, somebody's got to be second to a runaway winner, 2-5, gifted by design. It was Wineman Tracks. He's a big player here. His form, figure-wise, just keeps going up, and he does have a Tapeta win 3 starts back.
That is very significant, especially whenever you have just 2 starts on the Tapeta and 1 win, 1 second.
A lot of upside to be sure. Now, race number 2, again, we're off the turf today, so that's our first of a trio of off the turf. We'll go out to $170 on the Tapeta, 1 mile in 70 yards. Late one right before we came on the air, the 6-0 Remorse will be ridden by Herberto Figueroa. Scratch out the 10, add Scylla, the 11, Slutty Princess, the 13, She Grins, and the 15, Come On Poppy. They are out, but the 14, Estrella, is going to draw in. She's going to run. That's a big deal. Early pick 4 is just a run back for me. The Tropical Turf pick 3 now reverts to the Tropical Tapeta pick 3. So let's just get into it, or what? You got a ticket?
I do have a ticket.
Awesome. Show it.
Yep, I've got a ticket. I do have the 5 and the 7 in race 2, but I didn't want to make this ticket really crazy, especially being off the grass here. So I'm just going to single with the 14. Race number 6, I do have on top the number 7, and that is Ganesh. I always had her on top, even on the grass, so I just think it makes the race a little bit tougher now, switching to the Tapeta track and in the finale here. Just 2 of them for me. The 4 on top, Smooth Claret. First off, the claim for the Gin Young Barn. So $24, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be back. It's a pretty tough sequence on the grass tomorrow, so we'll see. Unfortunately, we can't control the weather. We just deal with it.
We cannot. That is to be sure. So I'm going to assume you're going to put Estrella on top in here. She draws in. She's the class. It wouldn't shock me if she still might not be favored, but she's a huge player in here.
Yeah, we've got some scratches, so she draws in a little bit further, which is a good thing here. I think she'll be sent along nicely by Misael Jaramillo. That's one good thing when you see him aboard one of your horses that you pick and you've got an outside draw.
Absolutely.
You know he's going to hustle them into the race and at least get him in a good position going to that first turn.
The other thing, too, is if she was in this race on turf, she'd have no chance from out there.
No.
When you're running a mile 70 on the Tapeta, the outside post position, it's not ideal, let's be honest, but it's not a death sentence like it would be on the turf at 7.5 or a mile. You know, Well Shaken was going to be a big favorite on a maiden special weight drop from Saratoga. Well, all bets are off. That was on the turf, but you know, you would think she's got a hint of class to her, and she's going to certainly like this level today.
Yeah, absolutely. She barely picked up her feet, though, in that last race, so I wish we could have just seen something. At least she did run a figure that fits with a group like this, Brian.
Lays over a group
yeah,
like this,
exactly. So we'll see. She's the next one for sure.
Couldn't agree more. Y was okay for DJ on the Tapeta. That's the good thing about Y. If nothing else, A, she's run over it. B, well, she wants about 5 different turns, I think.
Exactly. With that pedigree, absolutely. They very quickly, the DJ Stables group just put her right in for the 35. That's her level, 2 turns. She looks like she'll run all day, but does she have enough class? That's what you wonder.
Tacitus out of an arch mare. There might be things to jump over in her future. She's not a racehorse. Race number 3 now. We'll get to a fast main track. Take note of that. 12-5 maiden claimers here. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch out the long shots. The 5, Aunt Josie. In the 6, A Fancy Solution. Yikes. We could be in the 1 to 5-ish range here on Patty's Gift.
This whole race.
We'll show it to you, too, while you're talking.
We'll show it to you. I remember on Sunday before we left, I was doing this race, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of horses that just don't seem to have any interest in participating in an oval, a mile oval. Patty's Gift, though, does, and she ran very well here. That was the spacing between her races has just been very inconsistent, but against a field like this,
and she finally gets to put back-to-back races together.
Right.
She's going to get necked out here for the win. It was the first start on the main track under the care of Barboza. All her main track, well, her last 2, I should say, main track races would just absolutely bury this field. Don't be surprised if she's 1 to 5 or 1 to 9, because this is in the context of what she's facing today. This is a Herculean effort, to be sure. How about that?
Wow.
I got to say that on Friday. I wouldn't be able to say it on Sunday. Who you got in second? Because there's, Cozy's Operetta is interesting.
Yep.
She's training up a storm.
No kidding,
for Nolan Ramsey, who's pretty darn good.
Especially the first time in his barn, too. These horses really step up, and like you said, we can't see these works on paper. They're pretty blitzing, so you would think that maybe maybe that's the one to upset Patty.
I don't see much else because, the others. And I like what Nolan does. He reaches out for a name jockey in Miguel Vasquez, and a guy he's had a lot of success with in the past as well. So 3 down, 6 to go on a 9-race Friday card. Let's take a little bit of a break. When we come back, 100 in the estimated rainbow jackpot, and Ronnie's got a ticket. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you as we kick off the Sunshine Meet. We'll take you right through to the championship meet, which kicks off this year, as it did last year, on Thanksgiving Day. But a lot to go through today as we start anew. And, you know, you can always look back at the standings. As you look at your racing form, everything starts fresh. Everybody's 0 for 0. So, you know, do a little homework. We'll show you the standings coming up in the lightning round, but you can always kind of, you know, look back and see who was hot, or at the end who was on a good run, or who wasn't maybe as well.
Hot or who's not.
Yeah, because, you know, it was just last week that we ended, and it's not like we took a week off or anything. So just status quo.
What is that? What's
change? Yeah, just status quo. So race 4 kicks off the rainbow. 100,000, like we said. There's no mandatory or anything like that. We keep going here. Rainbow Ronnie has got the ticket. And let's see what he's doing today. 43.20. He's got that single in there.
Yeah, he does. And let's see. It's all the way in race number 7, 1 mile and 70 on the Tapeta, and an $8,000 claimer. China Blue for him. I like it. His last 2 races, the $25,000 main track event is a decent one. He's got the 2 on Tendre, the 4 El Guti, and the 7 Endrick. Of course, those are the major players. And in the finale, that got a little bit more difficult. Yeah, I think so, because I thought there was nobody going to beat Gulfstream Mary D, but now with her Tapeta form is not all that great. The 6, 7, and 8, they're definitely big players. He is still going to use her. Secret Victory, I wonder if that is his long shot, because she's 10-1. She could be. So
unknown on the Tapeta. Yeah, that I agree with you wholeheartedly. The race has got more difficult, more competitive, and maybe more fun for a handicapper as well. Race 4, we started out on a fast main track, though, 5.5 furlongs and an $8,000 2L. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch out the 6 Windrush, and also Wesley Henry will ride the 5, and that is Square Baby. You are on the 4. Pizzicato, who has run well twice in a row on the Tapeta.
Yeah, the 2 races were decent enough, showed a lot of improvement second time out. This might just be the trick for this gal here. She's only had 3 Tapeta starts and just 2 second-place finishes in them, so I like that. Jose Ferrer does a good job in riding her and putting her in a good spot. And, you know, we've got the same super, so these I feel like are the ones. I hope they would be the ones.
I don't know if there's anything left in the tank of area code 501 to be perfectly blunt and honest with you. But if you want to play devil's advocate and come along with me, she didn't run on the Tapeta. Okay, draw a line through it. Mile on the main is too far. Okay, her good work is all sprinting on the dirt. That's what she gets today. If there's anything left, she gets off the rail as well, which she's been in a couple starts in a row on the main track at least. And she's going to offer some value.
Yeah, she will. And it'll be interesting to see how the Tapeta, how the main track is playing, just because I felt like it was pretty speed and inside favoring last week, just with the more moisture in it. And it's good because it kind of just tightens it up a little bit. So this will be interesting to see how that main track plays.
Yeah, and when you're looking up, or you're telling us that the 8 5 Eyes on Michelle's the horse to beat, you know, you're allowed to have some fun with this race.
Yeah, exactly.
To be sure.
0 for 7 this year,
exactly. She's no great shakes whatsoever. Late pick 5 in race number 5. We are on the Tapeta here. These are $10,000 claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Huge scratch of the 1 Chena.
Yeah.
Old Minxie's out too, the 7, and she's going to take some speed out too. The race on the front end really opened up. Let's see what you got working here in your late pick 5.
Well, I don't have a single, which it was tough for me. Like I said, I did lose my best bet in the last race just due to the surface switch. Race 6, that's the second leg, and that tropical turf pick 3 started the late pick 4. I am spreading, but the 7, Ganesh on top for me. Race number 7, I do have the 1 Play Free Bird on top. Race 8, another spread race for me, but my long shot, Aegon Targaryen, he'll play today. He was my long shot a couple weeks ago, and he was scratched. But I am spreading. And in the finale, the 4, Smooth Claret on top. So 64 is the play, and if you could shake down a single. 32.
Hey,
Whoa.
good shoe. Wow.
Don't ask me to do that any other time.
The apocalypse is upon us, apparently. Wow. Well, I've kept my top pick, Cajun Fantasy. Who you got? Okay, let's start with the race because the gang's here. Misprint ran huge in this race.
Maybe if Misprint is back.
Cutting back.
Yeah.
Hard chase from all these 2-turn races. She runs huge. She's second. Cajun Fantasy's third. Chloe's Toy is fourth. They're all here today.
They are, and what do? It's kind of just musical placings here. We see this a lot on the Tapeta track. Chloe's Toy, you could argue that her best days are behind her. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but she was glued to the rail the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Cajun Fantasy, I thought, ran a really gutsy effort, and as well as a Misprint, like you said, when you cut back like that, she handled it very, very well.
She sure did. Now, there a ton of speed comes out of this race.
Yeah.
That's really going to move Misprint up if she's going to do that again.
Exactly.
And Miguel was aboard last time. I don't see any reason why not.
Right.
Fulminate's got nothing left to me. So
No.
that's why I moved Misprint up in here. I normally would never do that, but you have to take note of who came out
Exactly.
and what they were going to do.
Yep.
It's going to really flatter Misprint because I think Fulminate now to me is a 3-furlong pest.
Yep, that's very well said.
And then she's going to stop. Maybe she's off the claim for De La Cerda. Blinkers go on. Maybe, I don't know. I just don't think there's anything there anymore. So I think it's going to help. But I do think Cajun Fantasy, because she's going to be close to Dave Fawkes. We got a stat, too.
Yeah.
Because Dave Fawkes, this is a reclaim for Dave as well. And Dave is not playing in this kind of arena all that much.
No.
So this is a solid first claim on Tapeta, solid enough. But what I like here is he had this horse, and she won for him 2 starts back. And he claims her for 10, and that was for 8 2 starts back. So the reclaim is always a really good, I don't know if it's necessarily an angle, but it's just something to always take note.
Especially with somebody like Dave.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If they're going to go back in and say, I want to get this horse again. Late pick 4 kicks off in race number 6. Again, off the turf today. We'll go to a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. It's a $20,000 claimer. Fillies and mares 3 and up. Scratch out the 5. Big Band Louisiane, and her speed is out. Yeah. Let's take a look at my late 4 ticket, and then we'll get into this race. This is like this was the ultimate rework. I think there were top picks in 3 of these 4 races that were out, including my best bet. So in race 7, I scratch into the 7, and that is Mean to Me. In race 8, the 6 Tigre is my long shot in there, just a total stab. And in race 9, I scratch in, and we are off the turf. I scratch into Gulfstream Mary D, and I agree with what Samantha kind of hinted at. There's a lot of trepidation there because her speed would have played a lot better on a fast, firm turf course. Speaking of which, that's what we're off here, and hopefully we'll get back on it. But we're going to show you this race.
Yeah.
Ganesh, I have no idea why, but Ganesh ran really well last time. Maybe it was because it was a short field. I don't know. They're all, obviously, they're on Tapeta today.
Yeah.
But all 4 of these horses are back. So if nothing else, you picked Ganesh, right?
I did.
Yeah, she ran well last time.
Yeah, she did. And the thing with her is she's 0-4 on the turf, but she does have 2 Tapeta wins. She has not ever gone 2 turns on the Tapeta, though. So if you just kind of put all of that together, maybe I'm making something out of nothing. Why not in a race like this? I don't even think she needs the speed. I thought this was smart by Rajim Mirage, who was aboard her this day, to look at how the turf plays and say, okay, we got to send here. So with the Tapeta, I think she'll be a lot more tactical.
Yeah, and off that turn there, you're like, okay, she's going to be 5th, beating 9 lengths. Look at her just kicking late. And it's behind her now. Yeah. The route is behind her now. She's a danger in here. It'll be interesting to see the dynamics of this race.
Right.
The pure speed is gone. The 5, she's out. Burnaway, I do think, gets flattered because would you agree she's probably got at least the most consistent Tapeta form?
Yeah, especially when you see how many times she switched barns in the last couple of months. So I think that's a good sign here. And Jose D'Angelo jumping in for a
Yeah.
horse like this is a good sign. She's been lucky. She's been with some really competitive barns,
Yeah.
so that's helped, and she's moves into one today.
You know what's interesting? More play owns this horse.
When I
Never
saw
seen
this,
them off the
I
claim.
know, yeah, it's very odd. This is an ownership group that's just very young in the game. You got to
Yeah.
talk with one of them quite a bit a couple episodes back on our podcast, and yeah, claiming is not usually something that they do.
No.
This we'd have to double check, but I'm almost positive this is the first
Agree.
horse that they've claimed, at least locally.
Yeah, and they spend money
do.
on young horses. So
Yeah.
it's interesting, and Jose's their guy, too. World Travelers got Tapeta for him as well. Let's show a stat. It's a blinker stat, so
Okay.
we didn't lose it, which is pretty cool. Ronnie found this. Just 8%. That's a
Interesting.
giant sample, too.
Yeah, that's not
So-
good. And sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but whenever you draw the rail and you have blinkers on, sometimes they can be a bit slow to break. And she's got some early foot if she wants it, but you wonder
Yeah.
if she'll kind of just take a step back a little bit. It's interesting
Interesting.
for a 6-year-old getting blinkers on.
I would think if she breaks with this field, she's going to be on the lead. It might help
Right.
Ganesh a little bit,
It
who
might.
might be able to shut off a little
Exactly.
bit and sit just off her. Late pick 3 in race 7, mile and 70 on the Tapeta. $8,000 claimers here. 3-year-old fillies are 4 and up, which have never won 3 races. The big scratch, my best bet. No best bets in the lightning round, by
Oh,
the
yeah,
way.
exactly.
Diamonds and Thrills, the 3.
Yep.
Out.
Oh.
Diamond and Thrills. Victor's got the 6, Dialithic. But you're on the inside plate, Freebird, who was behind Dialithic last time.
I'll be honest, I reworked this race
Sure.
a little bit when Diamonds and Thrills came out, and Play Free Bird was not on. It was my 5th choice originally. So now you kind of have to look at the race within the race in a spot like this. The rail's not always ideal, but when you are going to turn, sometimes you can angle out. But her figures fit really well with the. Even though on paper it doesn't really look like it, it looks like she's a bit stuck in neutral.
Right.
But she fits here.
Steve Glaceris is off to a giant start. As I
Agreed.
said, it's not off to a giant start. We were 8 months deep now. Great year for Steve.
I agree.
To be sure.
Yeah, deserving, too.
Yeah, I agree. He's here every day. We
Yep.
get to see him. I scratch into Mean to Me.
Okay.
I just kind of feel like she's an interesting, fresh new face.
Yeah, she is, and has 2 wins, 2 seconds on our local Tapeta, or 2 wins on our Tapeta out of just 4 starts.
She's
What-
been sprinting all this.
My biggest concern is her last really good win. 2 wins were with Marty Drexler.
Yeah, there's no doubt about
Yeah,
it.
but
She's only run one time routing
With
on the
this
Tapeta
connection.
for Abreu. Her main track form is a little hit or miss, but
Yeah.
it's not bad either.
I was just picking up checks.
Yeah, and China Blue's off the claim for Bo Chap, and I feel like Ronnie might have had this horse singled in the Rainbow, and Bo's done a good job.
Yeah,
So
he did. Right. Yeah, you're right.
and her form it wouldn't shock me. She's probably Dialithic or her will be her favorite now.
Right.
Listen, Victor scratched a huge favorite.
Yep.
He's going to leave it. Oh, we have the replay with Dialithic.
Yep.
She did have trouble. Sometimes I thought we showed a replay earlier where there was not much there. She definitely got tightened up.
Yeah.
This is going to be entering the turn here. You can see Yulbert Torres has got run, and this is going to kind of close a little bit on him.
Yeah, not good here. And there's Play Freebird kind of getting into a
Yeah.
little bit of trouble as well. And was this still her stablemate, or was she claimed?
This was I Love Venezuela,
yeah,
so
she was with
she
Victor.
came back a week later and
Yeah, and
won,
then
so
won.
that's flattering.
Yeah.
She wasn't going to win that day. Dialytic, she would have been closer. She was kind of stuck the entire way. She's a huge threat in here. You don't have to take her, but she's a big, big threat, especially if you're going to scratch out the stablemate. Late double in race number 8, back on a fast main track, 7 furlongs in this one. It's a $25,000 claimer. 3-year-olds are 4 and up, which have never won 2 races, and we scratched the 1, my Sergeant, who don't really think was a player in here. We've got the same numbers in a different order. I picked this horse last time. No way. I don't know.
Which one?
Aegon Targaryen?
Aegon Targaryen,
Yeah.
The one-eyed wonder horse. This guy here, I think he's better on the Tapeta, possibly. Well, there's only one race to go off of on the Tapeta, but now on the dirt stretching to the 7 furlongs, I think that's good. He's a bit of a stab, I'll be honest, because the last race on the comeback was not that great. But you can be forgiving because he's a big, strong horse. I think he needed the race for sure. He's got some upside being so lightly raced against a field that, I mean, you're taking a shot with a long shot in this spot here with Tigre. So
Yes.
I'm going to try him one more time here. I'm going to just forgive that comeback race, and we'll see.
I will say this. I think he's very likely to finish last. I will say this just to humor your argument. I would have bet the bar tab he would have been in for the bottom today. And he's coming back for a quarter.
That's so true.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's very true.
Very
What's your bar tab, by the way?
it's
The
substantial.
disclosed number.
Lasix comes off today. What's that all about? That's kind of weird.
It is interesting, and some horses they just it can work not in an adverse way, but some horses just don't take to it. It's interesting how, but that is a very interesting thing to note here.
I'm picking a long shot too, so
Yeah.
it's that could be that kind of race.
Right.
The favorite, who we'll talk about in a second, is to me potentially very, very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Tigre has actually run okay on the main track. His figures, albeit on the turf and albeit on the Tapeta and routing, they're very good.
They are.
I'm going to just take a shot with him.
Hey, you can do that. And an
Yeah.
awesome slew getting back on the
Sure.
main track. And maybe you could argue, I get it. You look at his form and you go, oh, he hasn't done anything with any urgency lately. But if you go, he was in reality way back in October of 2022 and finished second going 2 turns on the dirt. So he obviously fell off the wagon since then. But he does have a couple of dirt races that look okay on paper.
You know, here's the other thing too. He's never really been realistically spotted.
That's so true.
You know?
He's been way over his head.
Way over his
Yeah.
head. Today, maybe he could wake up a little bit. Endrick is one of the favorites. He's a big player on the outside for Mubarak. At least his form is okay. On Tendre, off a total,
Yeah.
he's going to be hammered today.
Yeah,
on the
he
Institute.
will. And if he draws the rail, 0 for 4 at the 7 furlong distance. You can pick so many holes in there.
So you are allowed,
Yeah.
again, to look elsewhere a little bit. Just quickly, Ronald Coy, you had the one. El Goody's the main player here. He's going to leave him in. So
Yep.
there's a lot going on here. It's
There
a
is,
difficult
yeah.
race. And the last is difficult, too, because, unfortunately, we are off the turf today. We'll go to 1.70 on the Tapeta. It's a $25,000 claimer. 3-year-old fillies are 4 and up, which have never won 2. Big scratch of the replay horse, Golden Valley.
Yeah.
I'm glad they left this horse out because I'm betting this horse on turf if and when that she gets back to it. But I agree the complexion of this race differs now because as Gulfstream Mary D probably going to be favored with a big chance to win. I think all bets are off on the Tapeta today. Smooth Claret probably isn't going to mind running on the Tapeta, right?
Not at
Yeah.
all. Yep, there's some decent Tapeta form. We know that this Patter Pop and Jin Young team has done a very good job claiming horses. You take the horse from Jose D'Angelo, Barry Croft did, and the horse came back and didn't really run. She didn't run great, but her figures have not regressed that much. I know in the buyer figures it looks like it, but if you look at the thoroughgraphs, they're about the same regardless. And why not a horse like this when there seems on paper now like they'll be going hot and heavy on the front end?
Yeah, I agree with that. She could trip out pretty nicely.
Yeah.
The other thing I like here, too, is Jen and Pete for the Powder Pop and their partnership. They claimed this horse for 12.5.
Yeah.
Doubling up today. It's an
That is
aggressive,
interesting, yeah.
aggressive move, and I agree. I wouldn't want to play a real ticket without that horse. I left Gulfstream Mary D on top. There is also a chance, when we're talking about how on the Tapeta, maybe she's not as good. There's also a chance she's just much better in this group right now
That's
because
fair.
she's really dominated 2 starts in a row.
Yeah, my biggest concern now with her is it's not like she just is 0 for 2 across the Tapeta. She's had 6 tries and gets blitzed. Now, they were against some strong competition, but that was still maiden ranks, and then she got on the turf and just really ran well, considering the firm turf course and her speed. You could send her. There's really no other way to go with her, I feel like.
No, that's a scary thing, though,
Yeah.
because No More Cookies was good wiring last time. So
That was
down,
yeah,
she's on the inside
I don't-
here. So
I don't know how this horse all of a sudden just jumped up, but she
Yeah.
did, and it was big. And Marabina, you picked her last time. She came back and won, so I
And
guess it was pretty productive.
Jose Ferrer's not taken back, I promise you that. So it could be
No.
a little hot and bothered on the front end,
Yeah.
which would definitely flatter Smooth Claret, to be sure. 9 of them for you on a Friday. Fast main track, we are off the turf, unfortunately. We'll take a look at the lightning round, and as I mentioned, kind of midway through, we'll take a look back and at the standings here from the recently concluded Royal Palm meet. And I think we start with the jocks. So there's Edgar dominated, but okay, we've got a tie for third, Edwin and Miguel.
Wow, how about that? Both with
Yeah.
69 apiece. Jose
Yeah.
Morelos had a amazing,
Yes.
amazing Royal Palm meet. And Edgar Zayas, we talked to him, Ron talked to him on the podcast this week. It really is a pleasure to get to watch him because I almost hold my breath every summer that we're not going to get him. And when
Yeah.
he goes up to Saratoga and wins 4 races on the weekend, for people like Todd Pletcher, who Todd gives him a lot of shots throughout the wintertime as well, you wonder if he's going to leave us sometime soon. So my point in saying that is it's a pleasure to watch him day in and day out here.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add. He's a world-class
Yep.
jockey. I think he's the best turf jockey we have, and I
Yep.
don't care what the date is. I don't care what the month is. I'll still say it.
He rode your Be Your Best really
Yeah,
well the other day.
he did,
Yeah.
and she got a little away from him up there, but no, yeah, I echo those sentiments
Yeah.
exactly. Breakthrough meet, to be sure, for Jose Morelos.
Yes.
Good kid, young rider, going places, so kudos to him as well. And then, of course, 3 stalwarts that we have here.
Right.
I believe all 3 have won a title here in the past. Safi, 13 in a row now. 13
Amazing.
Gulfstream titles in a row, not summer titles in general. Jose made him sweat a little bit.
Just
the last,
a tad.
yeah.
Just a tad. Of course, these 2 barns have a ton of numbers. I think the honorable mention here is Mr. Joe Orsino.
There's
wow.
no doubt.
Amazing.
Yeah, for Joe to be on the leaderboard with his, I don't want to say his stock, that's not the right word, his numbers, I guess, because he doesn't throw out
Yeah,
the
he-
numbers these guys do. So credit to him
Yep.
and the team as well. He's got a good one around him. Saturday, Samantha mentioned it already. It's an exciting time here at Gulfstream Park as we kick off the first of 3 Sire Stakes weekends. The Desert Vixen for the gals. And you can see Team Biancone's got the 8-5 morning line favorite in both races.
Yeah.
Lenny Lou, Romero Mirage back.
Yeah, very exciting
Mm-hmm.
to have Lenny Lou. There was maybe some buzz that this horse would possibly go to Kentucky Downs. Excited that we get to keep her here.
I agree. And stablemate Squire, who is the morning line favorite in the Dr. Fager, and that's a good one as well. Ronnie thinks Love Like Lucy might be favored in the Desert Vixen with the My Racehorse connection. I could possibly see
I
it.
could see that. Yeah.
Trelawney, all to
Wow.
win, so good.
Yep.
Weirdly on debut. Camagal Antonio's got a nice horse down on the inside
Yeah,
as
that-
well. So
He went to Saratoga,
Saratoga.
and kind of got, you kind of wonder. Then Jamlima Ding Dong's in on Sunday.
Yeah, wonder about that.
Going to think that this horse is going to scratch.
quite
but,
possibly.
very, very fun. I did a little bit of research on Dr. Fager. I had no idea that he passed away fairly young. I'm
Mm-hmm.
fairly young for a sire. What a cool horse. He's
Yeah.
I sent you the video. He's
You
built like
did.
a brick house.
Dr. Fager carried 139
Yes.
pounds in his last career start.
Amazing.
Set a world record mile for 132 and 1
That's like
for a
just
mile. Washington
amazing.
Park Handicap, I believe. Desert Vixen, a Hall of Famer as well. Buzzsaw as a 3-year-old filly.
Yeah.
So 2 Florida breds that are just really
So
immortal.
cool.
Yeah, stars
Yeah.
of the turf. Podcast is out this
Yeah.
week. Ronnie caught up with Edgar's Eyes. You did a nice job. We were at Mike Yates's barn the other day to see the Sire Stakes contenders.
Yeah.
Mike's got 2 of them in the 2 races. But Ronnie caught up with Edgar again. Thanks, Edgar, for taking the time
Yeah.
to talk about harrowing. I don't know what the word is. It
I
was a
don't know.
wild trip on
Yes.
White Abario in the Gold Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Just he was, Indian style with the White Abario. White Abario can handle tandem, I guess, 2
Yeah,
jockeys
wow,
at once.
crazy.
Yeah, just a really crazy jockey Gold Cup, but very fun to just kind of hear his thoughts. It's funny, and he said the same thing, and Ron said the same thing. I think we've all said it. Every time you watch it, you find something different
Sure.
that you miss. Like, Irad lost specifically just 1 glove. just one glove specifically in that whole
Wow, I didn't
thing.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I mean, that's the thing. You keep watching it and you find something new about it every single time. But White Abario, he shipped back this week, so
Yeah.
we'll have to go back out there and see our friend on the backside.
And Antiquarian won the race with Team
Amazing.
Pletcher, Todd Pletcher, and made his start. It was actually after the championship meet, but he kicked off his campaign right here at Gulfstream Park. TT pick 3 is a Tapeta. Pick 3 today, but it's still a great bet for the player. So just take note of that. Kicks off in race 2. And oh, look at this slate. I like that.
I know. I like the orange.
Good
It's very
stuff, guys.
fall
Yeah.
feeling. I like that.
Very,
of course, we haven't.
yeah.
The weather hasn't gotten the memo yet.
Not yet. No best bets for us today. How about a long shot?
I've got Mr. Aegon Targaryen.
Oh, and I'm in the same race too.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same race too with Tigray at 6-1. That's it. Pete's upstairs. Got a little work to do. We'll be back here for the opener to kick off the Sunshine Meet here at Gulfstream Park.
At the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance, we believe in giving every thoroughbred a second